looks are, to me, one of the best, if not the best, for waterfall patterns, in my opinion anyway. But Pat's patterns show feather shapes, patterns, and flows, and they're pretty realistic. So, anyway, tonight we'll talk about pattern making and developing a pattern from a picture. Can I borrow someone's study belt? I handed them all out. Can I just borrow? Okay, thanks, Ed. Let's make sure I get it back to you. One thing I rely on in developing a pattern is getting a study bill. And then what I do is enlarge pattern to the length of the bill. So I take measurements off the bill and I kind of develop a pattern using the bill but like all of us, our noses are all different shapes and sizes, and that could be true on ducks as well, I'm sure, with the lengths and this and that. They're not all exactly the same. But they all, like a redhead has the general redhead shape, and mallard has their general shape. But I start with the bill length. If I'm taking a picture, no, you can find a nice photograph. How I used to do it is, and still do, go to a copy machine somewhere where you can enlarge and reduce, and if you got a nice profile of a head or a body, or I'll just go there and play with percentages. You enlarge it 55%, so you enlarge it and then measure your bill compared to what you got, and that's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is I use a tracer. I've got a light, and it shoots the image up onto the wall, and I can move this back and forth to enlarge it or reduce it. So what I do is I gather photos off, say, the internet or books I've got, and for example, here's a couple photos. It's probably tough to see, but it's a couple nice profile headshots of a redhead. They're two different profiles here. One is a high head, one's a low head. And if you notice, I guess they both, but you notice here that both just so happen to have their tails dropped in the water. Typically on a higher head bird, on a diver duck, generally, if you notice that, a lot of times the tails are dropped to the water. But diver ducks, they could have their tails up off the water as well. But like puddle ducks, you'll see a lot of the puddle ducks, it's not too often that their tails just riding in the water, but a lot of the divers, you see them riding a little low and their tails are riding on the water. Well, that's not true for all of them, but what you're looking for is a nice profile. If you can find a head picture that looks like it's straight on, where it's almost looking straight ahead. And sometimes you can see a little air right through the nostril. And that'll give you a pretty good indication that you're boom, right on. I got a whole collection of photographs here from the Duck Blind, Willie McDowell. He sells these photo packs, and it's very nice reference photos. He's got of the feet and kind of the top view, the bottom of the bill, close up of the heads. He's got a nice photograph of a nice side profile of a redhead. And I think these are from Crossman's, these here. But, like a wing study, the hens as well. But the duck blind and Crossman's both have reference packs of various waterfowl. And good night. Some nice photographs in here as well. So what I do is I look on the internet quite a bit, and you type in say redhead duck, Make sure you put duck behind the red head. That's about the only one you can get in trouble, or you'll be looking at a lot more than just redheads and ducks. So, just yeah. But put a redhead duck. The mallards and everything else is mallard, it's fine. But then you go to images, then you click on images, and it'll bring up thousands of pictures.
You go to Google image,
Google or
image, because they've got some incredible.
yeah, Google image, and then redhead or
Right.
mallard or whatever duck or songbird or anything you want to do. So you get some pretty nice photographs there. But I do that a lot, and so here's a couple different shots. I think I'll do this higher head one here tonight, because I've got a couple lower head ones here already. But so I'll kind of show you how it's done, and then I'll talk about some various patterns I've got up here, and then getting to kind of this point. I don't know if we can hit the lights, or someone hit the lights for me, please. Can everyone see it, or?
Yeah.
Okay. So, not a bad profile of a redhead, and it's different than patterns I have up here. Kind of more of an alert bird. A lot of times I'll just find a bunch of different ones, and you can see how fast it is. I'll go through and just do this on a bunch, and then I'll just tape them to the wall and let them sit there and just pick out ones that
One that flies out at you.
Yeah, the ones that catch your eye, yeah. Because it'd be amazing how, yeah, it looks pretty cool right now, but then you do a couple other ones, and then you go back and look at that and say, yeah, something doesn't look right, so. But, or you like something about a body on one that you don't like, maybe you like this part of the pattern, but you don't like the back, and you like the back of another one, you kind of combine the two and make things work for you. So that's kind of the general basics of a side profile. And then this is some drawing paper. I like this stuff. You can find it in the yard store like a Decoy. Comes in a roll like this. And Michael's even sells it. I go through a lot of this paper.
Where'd you get the tracer at?
That I got at Dick Flick.
Dick Flick?
Dick Flick.
Flick.
Dick Flick art store. Michael's might even sell those too, some version of it. Okay. Just going to draw a center line here. I'm just going to draw top profile. So what I do is kind of carry lines down. So I'll carry one down from the front of the breast down, the shoulder, front of the shoulder down, back of the side pocket. These are kind of major groups. Front of the tail, and the very back of the bird. Can everyone see that? Yeah. That's a mask to the side. The other thing too, which helps for floating, is something not as tall either. If they're a little shorter this way, they're they'll be a little more stable and not top heavy as well. So I think this is probably about just under 4 inches, so it fit on your cork block. So I kind of Right now, I'm gonna make about a 7.5 inch wide decoy for this one. So I'm gonna just kind of start here, off the center line, just sketching here. And the tail here, that's the back of the side pocket. Just kind of drawing circles. Then I'll generally double check, say on a Pat Godden, or if you got a, study skin, or there's some sort of bird to rely on and take measurements off of. I generally do that. But get your width of the shoulders close. And what I'm talking about is these areas right there. I'm just gonna measure. Six and a half. That's the side pocket. Here's the upper part of the bird. That'll kind of give you, I think, a nice plump bird. And I just fold it over on that line. Well, you got somewhat of a pattern developed. Do more detail in your upper pattern. You shouldn't, all the secondaries and the tertials, primaries, all kind of drawn in. You could do that too. So I can see how you do that.
Yeah.
The flow runs this way on here. Throw some sketching in there. If you want, just kind of, you can do them cross, primaries, move it up that way, or drop it a little bit. Yeah. Kind of get the general idea. Yeah. More neck to play with, and they're a little easier to carve, and you don't have any transitioning back here to deal with. Whereas something like this has it's a little more challenging, as you can see. I still got the neck seams coming straight off here, but I got some dash lines in there. Now when you cut this pattern out, I want you to cut the body profile down. I'm just gonna tape this up and draw on this. So when you cut this sort of and, you know, like that, you know, and so forth. So if you cut your body out, you'll end up with that profile. Now when you cut your head out like this, but carry it down to here all the way to this line. And then you're gonna ask, well, that's not gonna fit in the body. You're right, it won't. But next month I'll show you, I'll have one here for you to show you how. But to kind of explain it, what I do is take a forcer bit or a drill bit, forcer bit ideally, and I'll put the head on the block, like in the position I want it. So I want it turned this way in this direction, then I'll come in here and mark it. And it's not going to fit flat down there, it's because it's hitting the back of the back. So you kind of got to do your best you can. Kind of pencil it on there, and then you take your drill bit with a drill or drill press and just take that down to the flat platform part, and your head will fit right into the body. Now if you're doing a decorative bird, then you're probably going to have to shape your head to fit in there, because then you're probably not going to want to deal with that wood filler, because I end up using wood filler to patch back in. Any questions on that so far? But we'll go over that in great detail next month. And then the tail boards. Any of them that got the tail board, it's like this. Now I've drawn on kind of shape of the tail. That's kind of thickness, and it's not straight. It's got slight arc into the body. But what I do is I draw this pattern on the side of the block. And when I get to the tail, I generally leave more wood up here, up top, and more cork. Then I'll take my block of wood, kind of get it to where the front of the tail is, and try to get the whole tail's in there, and then I'll trace that on. This nose in the block of the wood before you bandsawed it out. So I traced that on, and the tail is within that. So when I bandsaw this side profile out, I come in here with the bandsaw, like that and that, and then your tail block will fit in there. Now if it doesn't fit perfect, it's fine. You can either shave this or find another piece of wood that's thicker, whatever. Yeah, it's not the end of the world. So you end up with this then, essentially. No, that's not going to fit there, but same does. So you end up with that, and then you can, top profile. And we'll go into more detail of that next month, along with the head cutout. So you end up with this after you've bandsawed it out, and then I insert the tail. Make sure you got the grain running the long way. Put that in there, and then I force it in there. Okay, that's a tight fit. So I'm gonna just trace my cork body in there, and then I'm just gonna draw I'm just eyeballing this, but I would take my pattern and kind of do a better job probably. So now this part of the block is going to be embedded in the cork. And then I bandsaw this out. Probably leave a little more wood on the sides here, but then just cut this out, and then I glue it in with some epoxy glue. And when you bandsaw your blocks out, you end up with that cork dust. Hang on to some of it. It works nice for filler when you little cork dust, yeah. and it works nice, mix it in with your epoxy, and it ends up with a thicker filler. And then when you got the seams like you're gonna have here, you'll end up with holes. This one I got pretty nice, but I'll be honest with you, a lot of them aren't this nice. The saw blade goes in a little bit, you end up with some roughness in there. So, so you end up with some gaps or seams. You just mix up that epoxy, mix some cork dust in there and put it in there. You might have to do it a couple times, and I do the same around the necks. The neck seams, yep.
Before you cut that slot for the tail, you cut it before you round the body, so you got the square,
Yes,
you know,
good point.
I
Yep,
would think, wouldn't you?
yep. So I draw that, like that pattern right now, I draw that on the side.
Yeah,
Yep, and that notch is there, so I'm cutting, then I draw the top profile on here. So I'll cut that out first, make the stop cuts. Everyone know how to cut one out, or should I go over it now, or
Sure, that helps.
go over it now? Why don't I, well, I'll use this block. We got plenty here. So,
While he's doing that, you got a newsletter. The first page is a picture of Tom on there. Just blow it up. It's gonna be a piece of what he's doing right now. It shows you, gives you a picture of what it looks like before it's been cut. But it's all marked out so you can see the tail slot and everything. Just look on your newsletter first.